So how did Plymouth Hope actually start? How did you put this concept together into something that it is today, which is fantastic? It's so big, it has grown a lot. What were the roots? Where did you start from? Where was the seed?
So, as I said, it was just to keep ourselves busy as asylum seekers, use our time wisely, and contribute to the local community. So the first formal session was in December 2008 at Central Park. So we sent leaflets around to make sure that they were translated, to make sure everybody within the community knew about the first sessions. And to be honest, for me personally, I thought just lead on some activities, for people to kick a ball. The first session was really a turning point. We had about, I still remember the number, 54 people who turned up, more than 20 nationalities. And that was from white British, Chinese, Iraqi, Afghans, and different African countries and all of that. I think that was a turning point because myself, I was surprised, and other people who were helping me with distributing leaflets, everyone was surprised. And on the day, yes, it was my first time really to come across, even being from an ethnic minority background, so many diverse populations, so much. Because Middle Easterns, Asians, and Africans, we all went together. It was one language on the pitch, same rules, same objectives. Two teams wanted to win. It didn't matter really how good your English was. It didn't matter your social background. It didn't matter whether you work or you didn't work. We even had some white folks who were engineers who joined in, and everyone had their own barriers in the community. And that day, no one needed to know whether you were an asylum seeker or a refugee or an engineer. We just got on with it. And I think that first session was really the turning point. And we all left, including myself, oh, okay, this is something that we can use to support asylum seekers and to exactly achieve those objectives that we wanted to achieve. Because we started as football. There's a football club that's remained, has a football club. It has its own committee and everything. So the adult football is part of the local football league. It has been for 14 years. Well, in fact, we are now the longest serving club in the local league because since we joined, it has always been there. 3-4 years ago, we formally joined the local DGM, Devon and Junior Minor Leagues. So with that, we have about 50 to 70 children and young people who play football every week on the record, and that has never stopped. So what happens with the football club? Again, it's the same thing. It brings that diversity, really. For us, what we do through the football club, so for example, yesterday there was a massive celebration of our under 12 who came second. So the football coach, the main football coach is a refugee, the assistant is an asylum seeker. So it's bringing that diversity and that positiveness in the local football league to say, actually, what you hear in the media, these are people who can also contribute in the local community. And yesterday they were receiving their award in front of more than 2,000 people. Massive celebration for us, something we should be proud of. So the football club is growing. It continues to involve as many people as possible. The charity came from the football activities. So in 2012, officially, when we had one of our trustees, Lisa Barry, who is a vice chair, joined. She's a social worker by background. So she came in with that expertise, and that enabled us to set up children and young people's activities because we needed somebody with a safeguarding and children's services background. So since then, that's how the charity started growing. So we became a charity formally in August 2013. So as we speak, there are different projects within the charity. The first one is well-being in a sense of sport, physical activities, and social activities, and also psychosocial support. Not in a medical way, but purely in a social term where we organize, whether that's befriending or mentoring people who are very stressed, who can get support from their peers. The second project we have is asylum support and migration, so which is really giving asylum seekers the literacy for them to understand the asylum system. Because there is a scarcity of resources in our sector, but what we do care about is preventing the crisis from happening. We want every asylum seeker to know, actually, this is where you are in your journey, and this is what's likely to happen. So that also happens every week. The other project is loneliness and isolation. As part of that, we led on a program to install internet in more than 70 asylum seekers accommodations in Plymouth. Again, a unique project that was really successful. So following that, we are now a digital center working with Migrant Help, where asylum seekers can access anything digital at our offices, and we continue to provide internet connections in our offices. Future Youth, a project funded for 5 years, is basically looking at using sport activities to improve the educational performance of children, mainly refugees, asylum seekers in schools. So as part of that, we have homework support and a lot of other things that we do. And the way it works is just to make sure that every single asylum seeker who lives in an asylum home has got the opportunity to be active in sport, and also they can receive that educational support, as well as their parents who sometimes come in, they don't understand the UK educational system. So those are some of the activities that the charity does. And in addition to that, of course, advocacy, because what I've learned from it myself as a founder, and also my colleague trustees learn from it every day. So we try to use that learning and expertise to make sure that there are changes across us, because we cannot do everything on our own. There are other organizations. So we pass on our learning to make sure that there are changes, both within local authorities and also within the voluntary sector. So that is the charity in a nutshell. There's a lot that we do, but quite modestly, that's what we do.